Hello super friends and welcome to DC TV Talk. This is the show where we talk all things Supergirl, The Flash, Legends of Tomorrow, Arrow and Black Lightning. And in today's video we're going to be discussing the very exciting but also very sad news of the Legends of Tomorrow Season 3 finale, which is going to be airing tonight on the CW. So this is going to be my little preview / predictions video where I'm just going to be discussing what I think is going to happen in the finale and how everything's going to go down, my opinions on it all. And then tomorrow you'll get my review for the episode, the review for the finale, and then at some point this week, probably towards the end of the week, you'll get my review for the entire season as a whole. So you can look forward to all of this great Legends content coming out this week, but for now, let's talk about the finale. So I think the first thing to get out of the way is, am I excited for this episode? Hell yes. Legends has been my favourite show this season. I think Season 3 has been the strongest season of Legends, and I've enjoyed every single episode so much. I think it only had 1 week episode for me, but I don't want to make this too much like a review because, like I said, I'll save that for the next couple of Legends videos. But I have loved this season so much, so it's safe to say I was so excited for this finale. Or I am so excited for this finale, and based on all the information we've got about the finale, I couldn't be more excited going into this. So let's go through a couple of pieces of the information that we know. So for example, Jax is returning for the finale. So Franz Drummer, who of course plays Jax Jefferson, will be returning to the show for this one episode. And this is great news. I think that he is such a charismatic actor. We all love him. He's a great personality. I've really missed him ever since he's been gone. And obviously this does beg the question as to why he is coming back at this specific point. It doesn't really make much sense. However, we can infer based on what we know from this season that he will be receiving the Fire Totem, which will give him his powers back. At least that's my theory anyway, because obviously now that Martin Stein has died, he doesn't have that bond with him anymore, so he can't bring out his Firestorm powers. But now with the Fire Totem, which Mick now wears, but I think Mick will give it to him, that will give him the powers of, you know, embracing fire, which will give him very similar powers to what he had as Firestorm. I mean, he won't be able to fly like he was able to used to, but he'll still be able to use the fire manipulation powers in the same way that he did as Firestorm, which will be able to help him. And I believe this will lead into him becoming a full-time member in Season 4, and also, will we actually see him wear the Fire Totem and use it in the finale? Who knows? I guess we'll have to leave that. They've kind of left Jax in the dark in terms of this episode, in terms of what we know about him and his involvement. But I think this is definitely the route they're going down, and I'm very excited to see Jax back, because I've really missed him on the show. We also know that Jonah Hex will be returning in this episode. We haven't seen him since last season. Now, he obviously makes like a 1 episode appearance every time we go to the West, and this finale is taking place in the West, so that means we are getting a Jonah Hex appearance. I don't know how involved he'll be. I imagine not a lot. I don't think he'll be in the episode too much. You know, in terms of like the final battle against Malice, I don't know if he'll actually be there. But point is, he is in this finale, and it's always nice when he shows up. He's always a nice sort of appearance, especially I really like his interactions with Rip Hunter. And obviously Rip will be in this finale, so hopefully they'll get some interaction, because I think they're really cool. The way they have that like history with each other, I think it's really nice. So I'm excited to see Jonah Hex come back. I mean, he's not my favourite character in the world, but it is always nice to just have him there, especially when we are there in the West, so it makes sense for him to be there. So at least he is back, and at least he is there, because it makes sense for this, you know, in terms of what Legends has set up with this character, it makes sense. The fabulous Matt Ryan will be returning as John Constantine for this episode. Obviously, Constantine's been kind of a recurring character this season. I mean, he was in episode 10, he was in episode 15, and now he's in the finale. Obviously, we do know now as well, of course, he is going to become a full-time cast member for Season 4, which is amazing news. But of course, he is returning. He has had a big part to play this season. Even though he's only been in a couple episodes, he has had a big part to play, and also the fact that obviously he deals with the supernatural, and Malice is a very supernatural threat. It's all kind of linked into Constantine very well, and we've all enjoyed having Constantine on the show. I think we've all said, you know, ever since he started showing up in the Arrowverse, we always just said we need more of him, and now we're finally getting that, because it seems like, you know, we've got him a lot this season, he's been around a lot this season, he's also, of course, now going to be a full-time cast member, you know, a series regular, no less, in Season 4, so he's going to be awesome in this finale. You know, you can never get enough of John Constantine. Matt Ryan is perfect in the role, and I can't wait to see what he gets up to in this finale, because just seeing him, I think it's going to be amazing seeing him just, you know, tromping around the West, you know, the Wild West with John Constantine. It's going to be just like such a weird concept, but amazing to see on screen. Only something that Legends could get away with. So how will they stop Malice? How will the Legends actually defeat Malice? This is something I can't actually pinpoint, because the problem with Malice at the moment is, now he's finally been revealed in his demon form, we still don't really know what the extent of his powers are, we don't really know what he can do. So until we know that, we're not be able to sort of expose any weaknesses. So this is something we're going to have to wait and see. We're going to have to simply wait, watch the episode, see what he does with his powers and how the Legends kind of uncover this weakness. I have a feeling, like I said, I have a feeling it will be something to do with John Constantine. I feel like Constantine will have a part to play in this final fight. I think he will have something to do in terms of, you know, this being a supernatural threat and him dealing with supernatural, you know, supernatural beings. I feel he will be, in a way, responsible for this. I also feel like Wally West will probably be a big player here. This will probably be the only time this season where we'll finally get to see him use his speed properly and actually really unleash his speed. I think we'll get to see that in this finale with Wally. We could also see Jax, like I said, Jax come in. If he is using the fire totem at this point, that's a pretty big weapon. You know, Firestorm was always kind of like the weapon of the team, so it'd be cool to see Jax kind of take that back again. So I think there's going to be plenty of ways, but like I said, I think Constantine's going to be the main thing that's going to take him down, just because Constantine has been such a big presence this season and has had so much kind of meaning with this season, and because of his backstory and because of where he comes from and what he deals with, I think it makes a lot of sense for Constantine to maybe not necessarily take him down, but to kind of know how to take him down and know what to do. So after Malice is defeated and everything has gone down, we will have a couple of minutes of respite to kind of see what's going to be going on afterwards. One of these big questions is, who's going to leave the show? It was actually confirmed yesterday by the executive producer of Legends of Tomorrow that a cast member will be leaving the show, but they of course didn't announce who. Now, they didn't say they died necessarily, but they did say that they are just leaving the show. And if you remember a video I made about a week ago, I did say that I think it's going to be Amaya. You know, Amaya, who is of course played by Maisie Richardson-Zeller, she is probably going to leave the show. Just in terms of where the story's going, where it's carrying her character, in terms of the totems as well, I feel like her character as well, just being displaced from time for this amount of time is dangerous to the timeline. So she will have to go back at some point. And also the fact that, you know, Amaya has kind of been on the fence about being on the Wave Rider this season. You know, she kind of went back to Zambezi, and then she was kind of just called back in, kind of impromptu, that she didn't really want to go, but she went anyway because she felt the need. And, you know, even last episode she went back to Zambezi again to try and rewrite history. So, you know, she clearly is uncomfortable on the Wave Rider at this point. I think the only thing that's maybe keeping her there is Nate. And this does also beg the question is, if Amaya leaves, will Nate leave? Possibly. I feel Nate has a bit more on the Wave Rider than Amaya does. I think Nate has a lot more of an ambition to be a hero and be a vigilante in that sense. But if Nate does leave with Amaya, that means we're going to have like 2 free slots. And that could be made up by the fact that we are getting Constantine as a series regular next season, as well as Ava Sharp, who is also going to be a series regular next season. So they could be joining the Legends full time, both of them. Like actually joining the Legends team itself, and that way we could have 2 characters exit the show, being Amaya and Nate. So I feel like Amaya is the most likely option, and we could also have Nate go as well. Now, will anyone die from the Legends? Now, that's an interesting question. Like I said, I think Amaya is going to leave, and potentially Nate as well, but is anyone going to die, and is anyone going to exit the show that way? So I guess we could talk about, is Amaya going to die? I don't think so. I think Amaya is too powerful of a character. And also, if Amaya dies, that's seriously going to screw up the continuity, so they just won't go down that route. It's way too messy. And will Nate die? Maybe. I mean, I could maybe see it, but again, I don't know. I think Nate, he is quite a popular character. A lot of people do seem to like him. I know I like Nate a lot, so I don't know if I could really see him dying. But it is possible, and that really could be, you know, if Nate dies, that could be the real kicking off point that really just sets Amaya off to just leave the Wave Rider because she has nothing left. So it could be that. So he could die, I don't know. But then in terms of everyone else, I've always kind of had a feeling that Ray has had a target on his back for a long time, but whether he'll actually die in this finale, I don't know. Maybe his time's not quite up just yet. So in terms of people dying, I honestly, if I had to honestly think, I honestly believe that nobody will die in this finale, personally. But if anyone's going to die, I think Nate could be a likely option. If not Nate, maybe Ray. And we will, of course, undoubtedly get some setup for Season 4, which we, of course, now know is happening. And that will be something that's very exciting to see. Obviously, at the end of Season 2, we got that amazing setup where the Legends actually broke time, and that's obviously what has caused all of these anachronisms and what have you. for this season, so we will get that kind of cliffhanger setup for Season 4. Now, I really hope, I mean, I know loads of people have said this, but it is something that's true. I really just want them to set up the multiverse for Legends, you know? Obviously, the Flash deals with the multiverse quite a lot. I really want to see Legends and the Wave Rider actually travel through alternate universes, but especially with Legends, considering how wacky and off the wall and creative it is. Imagine all the freedom they would have to just create all these alternate universes and have all these alternate versions of their own cast members. I think it'd be such a good opportunity, and for them not to do it, I think it would be incredibly wasteful. So hopefully they listen to the fans and just allow us to travel through the multiverse. Like maybe Rip Hunter's just like, yeah, there was something I never told you about the Wave Rider and about Gideon. Yeah, you can travel through the multiverse, and that would be really cool. I mean, and also the thing is as well with the multiverse, it doesn't really affect anything going on elsewhere because, you know, unlike the Flash, this show kind of takes place in its own timeline because it takes place in the temporal zone most of the time. So it's not really in its own, you know, timeline. I mean, it is in its own timeline, sorry. So it doesn't really need to affect anything else in that sense. So hopefully we can get a bit of multiverse travel next season. Hopefully that's the main bulk of the storyline. I really hope that's true. And then we could just get all of our cast members just traveling through the multiverse. I think there's so many opportunities there. So are you guys excited for the finale? If you did, give it a like, you know, give this video a like, show your support, show you're excited for this finale. And make sure you leave a comment telling me why you're excited and what you're excited about. And how you felt about Legends so far this season. And do you think it's going to be a satisfying conclusion? But like I said, I think that this season of Legends has been so phenomenal. Easily the best show on the DC TV Arrowverse side, except maybe Black Lightning, but you know, it's kind of separate. But I think that this finale is really going to end on such a high note to such a brilliant season. This is going to be one of the best seasons of the Arrowverse to date. So thank you guys for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Please give it a like if you did. It will help me out a lot, and share this video with anyone and everyone you know who loves DC TV and get them to join the community. And as always guys, please subscribe for all of your latest content on Supergirl, The Flash, Legends of Tomorrow, Arrow and Black Lightning. And with all that said guys, I hope to see you again in my next video.